Alright, so what we have here is the Asus Transformer Prime. Comes with a wide variety of improvements over the previous Transformer design, and I'm just going to go over those with you right now. So, what we got, the first noticeable improvement is it's much thinner and much lighter. It's only about half a kilogram. It's also extremely thin. It's about 9 millimeters thick. It's got the standard Gorilla Glass, as most tablets have. It's also got the standard resolution, 1280 by 800. One of the other noticeable improvements is the back panel is an aluminum back panel, so it's way more sturdier feeling, way more unibody than the previous Transformer, that's for sure. Aside from being lighter, it's more powerful than the previous Tegra 2. So, let's go over some specifications. This is the 32 gigabyte version of the tablet. It comes with the Tegra 3, which is the quad core, featuring, well, really the 5 core with the 4 main cores and the 5th reserve that basically does the low power tasks. Not only is it more powerful than the Tegra 2, it also has a great battery life. From cruising the internet, just browsing, web pages and videos on about half the normal brightness, gets about 12 hours. I think standard viewing usually about 10, so 10 hours of cruising the internet and watching some videos at full brightness, but which isn't bad. I mean, it's pretty good. On the front, we've got the 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera for Skype or whatever your video application is of choice. Then on the back, we have a flash with a 8 megapixel camera as well, so you can take pretty decent quality photos of whatever event you're doing. It's really sleek along the sides. We've got just 2 buttons on the outside, well, technically 3. We've got the power and then the volume up and down. Other than that, the only other thing we see is the mini HDMI port. Everything else is pretty, and the audio. My 2 biggest gripes with the design of it so far are the micro SD kind of sticks out the side here. It's kind of annoying. Also, the power clip isn't very clip-y. It just kind of, I don't know if you can see that, it doesn't sit, in my opinion, very well. So let's turn it on here. So you're greeted to the ICS 4.03 interface. Let's log in here with your standard little doodle log in there. You can go in here, which is really nice because down here you've got your time. When you press your time, you've got all the main options you need. You got your performance levels. You've got this nifty little brightener that it's called IPS Plus. Now this actually causes the screen to become really bright, but it chooses through the battery power so a little bit more quickly. You can turn off rotation, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. You can set it to automatically adjust the screen brightness, and you have a really quick feature to your settings. So we go down here and let's see, in the security settings, you'll see, I don't know if you can read it, probably not, but there's a whole bunch of different types of screen locks and stuff like that. Now in your settings you have a whole bunch of options as well, such as backup and reset, which is a good option because if you have any information that you want to restore from, all your basic settings for controlling like any electronic devices in here. Now on this side we have 3 unique little icons. So you got your standard back button, so you can go back and leave whatever application you're in on a web page or something like that. You can go back. This is your home button. This will always take you back to your main screen, which is here. And then there's your applications tab. Now the applications tab actually shows you stuff that you've run before and like leaves a little screenshot of what it was doing. And if this list is ever too long for you, you've been messing around with it all day and you don't want to see a whole list of stuff, so you can just say, I don't really care because I just installed Flash Player, I don't really care because I installed the Adobe Reader, whatever, I want to go back into the file manager, stuff like that. Let me go home. And I just got a YouTube message. Anyway, the cool part about the desktop here is the new iOS had the option of putting things in folders, which we can do here as well. This is my interwebs folder. It's got all of the stuff I do on the internet. And then you can just cruise around and see the desktop. There's a task manager, It's this is another thing that makes it very intuitive. Is here's a list of the pictures or albums that I have. I can just flip through the albums on my desktop. I don't need to go into a gallery or anything or open anything up. These are just the pictures I have access to right away. Same for Google Books. These are the books I have. I can just browse through whichever book I want and then decide, hey, I want to read this book right now, and it'll take me right back to where I was reading it at the time. So that's pretty cool. Now we've got the Google search here, so this will find Pizza Pizza, London, Ontario, Highbury. And it gives me a map, it tells me where it is, and gives me the number and everything. So yeah, you have to be kind of specific with your questions, but I mean, there's a lot of Pizza Pizzas in Ontario, and there's a lot of Pizza Pizzas in London, so. Now this is the default task manager that comes with the Transformer Prime. It's got something called One Click Clean, which does a pretty good job, I find, of just wiping everything out. And if you have anything else running, sometimes stuff's persistent, like the keyboard and the voice search, it can take care of that for you. Now the cool part is also about this desktop is the widgets. We've got widgets everywhere. Everything has a widget. So I've got my priority inbox up right now, so I can get all the priority mail and I can view it right away. Now it pops up down here in the little corner that I have mail or whatever. But this way I can see who sent me the mail, how much of it is relevant, and if I just want to ignore it and keep going about my business. Or, if I want to immediately answer it, I just tap it. And there we go, I'm in my mail application. Now there's some other widgets. This one's an event calendar. It tells me that it's Good Friday coming up, which is kind of neat. There's dates and everything else. Now, if you want to add or an application or a widget to the desktop, you go up to this icon here, and I'll do that again because it's really hard to see it. It took me a minute to find it, really. There's 6 boxes right there. And you click those 6 boxes, and it brings up your list of applications. Now you see all the applications, downloads and MyNet. You can't really see them because the camera's not that great, but you can see that there's a whole bunch of applications there. Someone might notice that there's Angry Birds. So we've got all of our applications and stuff like that, and then you scroll over and you'll see all of the widgets that are available for your desktop. So we've got the mail, the battery and analog clock, stuff like RSS feed readers and battery monitors, power controls, which are all accessible here, so I don't know why that's there. It's kind of redundant if you ask me. It's got a decent screen, it's pretty bright, it's nothing, it's not a Retina display. However, what I found with most Retina, even with this, is a lot of applications are developed for phones. And the resolution is just stretched or zoomed in on for the tablet. So what I don't really have a problem, because when I open a browser page and I pull up something, let's go to a website that's not really optimized for this. So let's go to pizzapizza.ca. Also, the keyboard that comes with it looks a lot like this. It's very basic QWERTY keyboard with touch interactions, vibrate on touch, noise on touch. None of that's really new to anyone who's used a smart device before. And here you can see we got pizzapizza.ca up here, and it looks good. I mean, it renders properly, there's no issues. It looks like your regular Pizza Pizza website, and this is, like I said, the non-mobile version. This is as it would appear on your computer. So, I mean, as far as browsing the internet and stuff like that, this device is exceptional. Next time I'm going to be comparing it to the Samsung Galaxy 10.1 4G version, just to give you a comparison of basically what it'll do for you, Tegra 2 versus Tegra 3, the screen, everything. Just kind of nitpick both of them apart and see where one is better than the other. Well, thank you for taking a look. Hope this helps you make a decision on any future tablets purchases. Peace out.